After a month of great cards with some amazing fights in the UFC, we are unfortunately going back to the Apex for a fight night headlined by Gilbert Burns and Michael Morales. This fight night card isn't even that bad. It's probably one of the better Apex cards this year so far, but the Apex overall kind of sucks now, to be honest. But anyway, guys, we will be breaking down and giving my picks for each fight in this card. So let's skedaddle our way into the first fight in Tessia Pennington versus Luana Pinheiro. We got Pennington coming off a win over Esparza by unanimous decision. She has a lot of UFC experience. She has had more fights than Luana Pinheiro. She's 14-7 though, and she's a crazy 410 favorite on the sportbooks. She's going up against Luana Pinheiro, 11-4. She's coming off a 3-fight losing streak. 2 of them were decisions and KO/TKO. Like we've been doing in the past cards, these fights are so unpredictable and so hard to pick unless it's like the better ranked women fighters. So for this one, I'm just gonna go with Pennington. She's the favorite in the sport books. She has the more UFC experience than Luana Pinheiro. But yeah, transitioning over to our next fight, we got Park Hyung-song versus Carlos Hernandez. We got Park 9-0. His most recent win over Ross, where he TKO'd him. However, this guy hasn't been active in over a year. Park, he has good patience, but he has really good pressure and is very aggressive. This guy is also very strong. He has decent wrestling, but he's way better on the feet and he's good at countering. On the other hand, we got Carlos Hernandez, 10-4. He's coming off a win to, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. It was a split decision, so it was a pretty close fight. Hernandez is a pretty good grappler. He's very smart in the scrambles and he has pretty good takedown defense. And this guy's got great reversals as well. His striking is decent, not the best, definitely not to the level as Park. So for that reason, I think I got Park Hyung-song to win this. Probably by decision, to be honest. So guys, so for the next fight, we got Elise Reed going up against Denise Gomez. This is another heavily favorite for one side. Elise Reed coming off a win over Peen by unanimous decision. She's 8-4. On the other hand, we got Denise Gomez, 10-3. She's currently on a 2-fight win streak. Both of them have been by decision. Not to slander women, but not too surprising there. But anyway, for my pick, man, I'm just gonna go with Denise Gomez. She looks, I haven't seen either of these ladies fight, and like I said in my first pick of the night, I'm just gonna go with the favorite on the sportbooks. So yeah, I got Denise Gomez. Most likely, probably another decision, unless Denise Gomez comes out and totally mauls Elise Reed and it's a TKO win. But we'll see. Sweet. All right, guys, moving on to the next fight. We got Yadier Del Valle going up against Connor Matthews. We got Del Valle. His most recent win was in Dana White's Contender Series appearance over Monteiro, where it was a unanimous decision win. He's going up against Connor Matthews, coming off a 2-fight losing streak where he got finished in both of those. And both of those were his UFC appearances as well. So he's not the greatest UFC fighter, even though he did go on a crazy run in the regional scene. But sometimes that never transitions to the UFC. It's a whole different level. But Yadier Del Valle, and also another pretty good regional scene fighter. So like for my logic, sometimes it doesn't transition over, but what I've seen from Yadier Del Valle, he's pretty good all around. He has pretty good wrestling and good striking. I think he's going to be able to beat Connor Matthews, probably by another KO/TKO, probably by a KO win, to be honest. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for these two guys, especially for Del Valle, since we haven't really seen much from him. But anyway, moving on, we got Luana Santos versus Tainara Lisboa. This is a bantamweight bout. Luana Santos is coming off a loss to O'Neal. She lost by unanimous decision. But before that, she was on a 5-fight win streak. She's going up against Tainara Lisboa, who's currently on a 5-fight win streak. 2 of them via submission, 2 KO/TKOs, and a unanimous decision win. For my pick, however, I'm going to go with the younger and fresher fighter in Luana Santos. She is coming off a loss, but before that, she was on a tear. Tainara Lisboa, she's kind of older. She's not going to have the same speed and the same explosiveness as Luana Santos. So for that reason, I got Luana Santos to win. Most likely a unanimous decision or a crazy Kimura submission. No, I'm just kidding. That's not going to happen. All right, guys, moving on. We got Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. Jared Gordon is coming off a loss to Hak Parast, where he lost by split decision. That was a crazy fight. Obviously, it's a split decision, so it could have gone either way. This guy's 20-7 with 1 no contest. Jared Gordon will consistently pressure you if it's with strikes or with takedowns. This guy has crazy output. He's very strong and he's decently durable. He will get clipped though. So that's what worries me about this guy. And then on the other hand, we got Thiago Moises, 19-8, coming off a win over Ogden, where he won by unanimous decision. Moises is very patient. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it isn't with this guy. He's very methodical with the strikes though. He has good wrestling. He's pretty decent on the feet. He picks and chooses his strikes pretty well. I feel like this is going to be a very fun fight. I don't think it's going to go to the ground. This is mostly going to stay on the feet, and it's going to be hopefully a slugfest between these two guys. As for my pick, I think I got Jared Gordon. This is a tough fight to pick. This fight is pretty close on the sport books. However, even in the ability, I think both of these guys are pretty close. So I think Jared Gordon's going to be able to win, most likely by a KO. So you guys, moving on, we got Gabe Green going up against Matheus Camilo. Gabe Green, he's 11-5. He's coming off a 2-fight losing streak where he got finished in one, and the other one he lost it by a unanimous decision. He's going up against Matheus Camilo, currently on a 6-fight win streak, 2 KO/TKOs, 2 submissions, and 2 unanimous decision wins. Gabe Green will go at you with crazy pressure, and this guy will eat a strike to return a strike back. He's very good on the feet, very light and active, and he will mix in punches with kicks. And this guy has some heavy strikes, but he can be reckless at times, and this guy also gets clipped a lot. He gets knocked down pretty fast as well. He's going up against Matheus Camilo. I don't have much info on this guy other than he has pretty good takedown defense, and he has some great kicks. He's pretty decent on the feet. And this is going to be his UFC debut. So hopefully this guy does good, because that's my pick for this fight. I think Matheus Camilo is going to be able to find either a KO/TKO win or a submission to put away Gabe Green. Coolio, that's all I got for these guys. For our next fight, we got Julian Erosa versus Melzakil Costa. Both of these guys fought recently. Julian Erosa just finished Darren Elkins in a pretty sad fight to watch. Julian Erosa has been looking good in his previous 3 fights. He's on a 3-fight win streak. 2 of them via submission, and the other one was a TKO win. Melzakil Costa, also a really good fighter. He's coming off a 3-fight win streak, and he's fought 3 times this year. No, 2 times, sorry. 2 times this year. One in Seattle and then in Mexico. I actually got to see this guy live with my cousin Ivan. He beat Andre Fili. He choked him out. But this guy's also on a 3-fight win streak. 2 of them via submission, and his most recent one was a decision win. Man, this is such a hard fight to pick. Both of these guys are pretty good on the ground and on the feet. This is a pretty evenly matched fight, to be honest. But I think I'm going to go with Julian Erosa. He looked super good, super confident against Darren Elkins. And yes, I know Darren Elkins is an older fighter, and Darren Elkins did not do nothing in that fight, but still, I really liked how Julian Erosa looked. And Melzakil Costa, his most recent fight was good, but I don't know, man. I think he didn't look as good as he did in Seattle. So we'll see how he looks in this fight in the Apex, but I think I got Julian Erosa to win here. Most likely by a submission, is my guess. So you guys, moving on, we got Dustin Stolfis going up against Nursultan Ruziboyev. I also saw this guy in Seattle with my cousin Ivan. That was a crazy fight to watch. Dustin is coming off a win over Marc-Andre Barriault, where he TKO'd him. And then on the other hand, we got Ruziboyev coming off a win over Mikoniko, where he TKO'd him in the 2nd round. Like I said, I watched this fight live. It was awesome. Before that, this guy was on a 10-fight win streak, all of them being finishes. His only loss was to Joaquin Buckley, who he fought in May of last year. And that's definitely not a bad loss. Joaquin Buckley is a beast, and he's been on a tear right now. Dude, for my pick, this is probably one of the easiest picks of the night. I think Ruziboyev, easy win. He's going to KO this guy. So yeah, that's all I got for these guys. Moving on, we got Sadiq Yusuf versus Myron Santos. We got Sadiq Yusuf coming off a 2-fight losing streak. One of them was a KO finish where he got beat by Diego Lopez, and the other one was a unanimous decision loss. This guy's very fast. He's a very explosive fighter. He has good counters. This guy fights at a crazy pace, and he's been improving his wrestling over his fights. Well, I mean, except his last one because he got finished. But anyway, he's going up against Myron Santos, 16-1. He's currently on a 4-fight win streak, one of them being a KO/TKO finish, and the other 3 by decision. I don't know, man. Myron Santos is coming off a very controversial decision win over Francis Marshall. Myron Santos didn't really impress me in that fight. It was a super close fight. Francis Marshall was piecing Myron Santos. Okay, well, not piecing him up, but he was getting the better strikes. And I don't think Myron Santos is going to be able to beat Sadiq Yusuf. Sadiq Yusuf has fought way better competition. He's faster, more explosive. The only thing that Myron Santos might be a little better at is the wrestling, but that's not going to be enough to beat him. For my pick for this fight, obviously I got Sadiq Yusuf. He's going to be able to piece up Myron Santos. Probably going to be like either a decision win or a TKO finish. Alright guys, for the next fight we got Rodolfo Bellato going up against Paul Craig. Both of these guys are coming off tough loss. Well, not really. Rodolfo Bellato's coming off a draw to Jimmy Crute, which is crazy. And Paul Craig is coming off a 3-fight losing streak, being one unanimous decision loss, a KO/TKO finish, and a submission. But before Rodolfo Bellato's draw, he was on a 4-fight win streak. Rodolfo Bellato looked decently good in his last outing. It was a pretty crazy fight. There was a lot of back and forth in that fight. I had picked Rodolfo Bellato to win. But before that draw, I mean, this guy was on a tear. He was on that 4-fight win streak with 3 of them being a KO/TKO finish. On the other hand, we got Paul Craig. He's coming off a 3-fight losing streak, but in his last 6 fights, he's only won once against Andre Muniz, which Andre Muniz is not the greatest fighter. But to Paul Craig's defense, he's been fighting crazy opposition like Bo Nickal, Kyle Barra. Okay, never mind. Bo Nickal is not crazy opposition. That fight sucked. But actual crazy opposition, Kyle Baralio, Brendan Allen, Johnny Walker. Over the years, he's fought crazy fighters too and got wins like over Nikita Krylov, Jamal Hill. This guy's got some crazy names on his resume. And he freaking beat Magomed Ankalaev. But this guy's past his prime. He's super old, 37. This guy's regressing, and I think Rodolfo Bellato is just going to be too much for Paul Craig. Rodolfo Bellato is going to be able to find the strike to put this guy to sleep and get a KO win. So, yep, that's my prediction for this fight. So, yeah, moving on to the next fight, which is our main event of the evening. Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. We got Gilbert Burns coming off a 3-fight losing streak, 2 of them being unanimous decision and a KO/TKO loss. On the other hand, we got Michael Morales. His most recent win was over Neil Magny, where he TKO'd him on the ground. And all of his 5 fights in the UFC, he's been undefeated. Well, his whole record's undefeated. This guy's on a tear right now. He's one of the few fighters left with an undefeated record in the UFC. And I believe it's going to stay that way for this fight and probably the next. Michael Morales is super good. He looked super great in his last outing against Neil Magny. And he's looked great in all of his UFC fights. I feel like this fight is just going to be a fight to put another good name on his resume. And this is a fight to build Michael Morales up. Gilbert Burns, he's old. He's he's regressing like Paul Craig. And I don't think he's going to be able to beat Michael Morales. He is going to give him a tough time though, especially in the wrestling. And this is going to be a nice test for Michael Morales to see how he does with his wrestling, because his striking is pretty good, but we'll see how it goes on the ground. Like I said, I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to be able to beat him, but I think I got Michael Morales to win a decision win here. This fight is going to be probably mostly on the ground, unless Michael Morales has been training to sprawl takedowns, to defend all the takedowns that Gilbert Burns will throw at him. And if he is able to do that, this fight is probably going to go the same way as Bilal versus JDM, where Michael Morales is going to piece up Gilbert Burns. So those are the 2 ways that I think this fight is going to go. But my final prediction, I think Michael Morales is going to be able to finish Gilbert Burns. Probably another TKO on the ground after stunning him with a crazy combination. All right, it's probably not going to happen exactly like that, but a TKO win for Michael Morales. So, alright guys, that concludes all my picks and predictions for UFC Fight Night in the Apex. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next video. Adios!